I just love my dog. I just love my dog. I just love my dog.
Where'd you move here from? Dumbsville?
Yo. Dumpsy drip. Dumpsy drip. Dumpsy drip. Dumpsy drip. Dumpsy drip. I hit the jeweler, got some goals. I sold a little weed, but I could never sell my soul. And when I'm in LA, you find me out in Lil Coke. Come a vocal with my ramen, I'ma need another bowl. Let's go.
Shit, we've been set up!
About that time, I've been waiting for Al to come out here.
Drake, the certified boy lover. I mean certified lover boy. That album was certified ass. So what's your role in all this, Drake? Money? Spotify hits?
Hold up, man, before we do this shit. First off, that shit is our legs. I use Napster. Secondly, don't you have a review to do?
Wait a minute, I do?
Open season 4, you gotta review that movie, right?
Well, I mean, I do, but we're like in the middle of something.
Well, I was just thinking, instead of wasting your time on this overly long shit, we could just jump into the review first.
Wow, that's actually really considerate. Thank you, Drake.
Hi,
Shut the fuck up. So here we are, the fourth and final open season movie. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? From one of the movies ever made, to one of the worst movies ever made, to another movie that was made, and we even reviewed one of the video games ever made. Truly, open season is one of the franchises of all time. And here we are, open season Scared Silly, the fourth film in the series. And as of currently, the final film. I know, a lot of you are getting real emotional. But all good things must come to an end. So join me as we dive into Open Season 4, Scared Silly. Except, I was lying to you this whole time. Because this is not Open Season 4. This is, in actuality, a soft reboot of the franchise. Where the events of Open Season 2 and 3 just never happened. Yeah, not joking. So stuff like Mr. Weenie's dumbass friends, Ashton Kutcher's marriage, Ashton Kutcher's children, and Boog's girlfriend. All just erased from the timeline. It's like J.J. Abrams made this movie.
So one of the things that I bought at the magic store was this.
So in actuality, this is Open Season 2, again. Look, the other films weren't great or anything. They were pretty fucking awful. But was the Open Season IP just so valuable that you had to press the reset button? Well, judging from how it went last time, maybe a soft reboot is what the franchise needed. Even though, nobody asked for it. Because there's nobody who is genuinely a fan of this franchise. Shut up, no you aren't. So without further ado, this is my review of Open Season 4, one of the retcons ever made. So our film opens in black and white, with the female deer character about to get mauled by this werewolf. And because this scene is a direct parody of the Universal black and white monster movies, that means the black and white filter isn't completely pointless.
I'm just a doe. A deer. A female deer.
Wow, what a hilarious and topical Sound of Music reference. Hey look, I can do it too, Nazism. So they're about to get murdered, but thankfully Ashton Kutcher comes out, which leads to...
The werewolf communicates through interpretive dance.
I mean, if you want to call it comedy, you're more than welcome to.
Now stay here while I—
2 minutes and 49 seconds. So it turns out that it's all just a campfire story, told by Ashton Kutcher. But Boog apparently finds the story very scary, causing him to get jump scared and run away. Now, right off the bat, I noticed that the animation is good. Really good, actually. The way characters move is fluid yet bouncy. I love the way they express themselves. It's really adorable. The lighting is really nice and very reactive. It's not perfect or groundbreaking or anything, but compared to every other direct-to-DVD schlock piece of shit on this channel, and even the other movies in this franchise, it seems like for Open Season 4, they properly allocated the resources where they needed to go. And as a result, the film is really nice looking. So what I'm saying is, stop defending Alpha and Omega! So we get a flashback thing to the first movie.
You got the best flashbacks, Boog.
And it turns out, Boog's actually afraid of getting jump scared by a werewolf. However, Ashton Kutcher is planning a camping trip, meaning that Boog might have to cancel. So Ashton Kutcher vows to help Boog face his fear. Wait a minute, so this film isn't about a contrived complication in their friendship? Am I in the fucking bizarro zone? But then Mr. Weenie comes out and reveals that his owners are missing. And long story short, believes it's a werewolf who took them. So they all plan to stop the werewolf first thing in the morning. But Boog's all like,
Elliot?
Yeah, Boog?
Don't tell anyone I'm afraid of the werewolf.
So naturally and comedically, Ashton Kutcher tells everyone that Boog's afraid of the werewolf, and that he plans to scare the fear out of Boog. We then get a dream sequence, where Boog is in his old garage and sees Beth, but is then jump scared. Now normally this would be generic, but after 2 movies worth of not building off of anything, it is a little nostalgic seeing this.
It was all just a real long bad dream.
So after being woken up, Boog tries going back to bed, but is then jump scared by Ashton Kutcher. And at this point I noticed something. I think the movie might be self-aware. In some of the clips I played earlier, there's a weird, almost meta humor to some of these jokes.
Are you trying to scare me?
I was trying to say your name, but you jumped before I got to the G sound.
It's really weird. It's like the movie's in a perpetual state of sarcasm. It kind of reminds me of the Lego movie at certain points. Of course, not nearly as creative or funny, but I guess I appreciate what they're trying to go for here. So long story short, Ashton Kutcher convinces Boog to go into Dead Bear Gulch, the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria of this universe. And they're followed by Mr. Weenie, I guess, and yeah. We then cut to the villain from the first movie? What? I didn't think we'd get an open season nostalgia bait, but here we are. So due to open season being illegal, Shaw now works as a nature guide, and by coincidence is taking them down to Dead Bear Gulch. Whoa! Meanwhile, Boog and Ashton Kutcher are going deeper into the forest, where Ashton Kutcher plans on pranking him. So Boog is jump scared by shadow puppets, this thing, which is just the skunks, and is about to be jump scared by the giant werewolf, who is actually just the Yo Mama guy in disguise. But then he trips and does the funny Vine compilation, which ruins his disguise, but it inadvertently makes everyone think he's the real werewolf. But thankfully they murder him, which causes him to meet up with Shaw and conveniently give him an idea. Meanwhile, Ashton Kutcher's all like, wow, it's not fake. But they also encounter Shaw and decide to investigate. So long story short, they follow him to this ranger cabin, and after eavesdropping on him and somehow not being discovered, they realize he's going to use the werewolf shit to re-legalize open season again. So long story short, a slapstick scene happens, and everyone thinks it's the werewolf. So uh-oh, open season is re-legalized now. So now shit's getting real crazy. Cut to...
Come on down to Eden.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this is, but apparently Shaw recruits them, so that's all you need to know. Anyways, the open season characters decide to stop the werewolf themselves. We also get a...
lightning dance!
I couldn't even edit anything over that. So the gang goes to Mr. Weenie's RV to investigate, and all that really happens is a slapstick scene. Whoa! I love meandering! So more wild goose chase tracking for a non-existent werewolf happens, until Ashton Kutcher eats shit. A scene that I assure you is really funny because Ashton Kutcher eats shit in it. The crew then encounters Shaw, so they steal his plane for some reason. So after flying and spitting some one-liners, they crash the plane and die. Just kidding, they survive. Man, I really fooled you, didn't I? So after that extreme meandering, they decide to disguise Boog as a werewolf, putting him in a Nobody told me this was a try not to ejaculate challenge.
Dude, I wanna jerk off!
Okay, but seriously, I'm not entirely sure how to feel about this. I guess it's a little bit funny, maybe. It's certainly absurd, I'll give it that.
Boog, make me attracted to you.
But then, due to a ketchup packet, they believe that Mr. Weenie is the werewolf?
Oh man, Mr. Weenie's the werewolf.
Huh? So they stalk him that night, in a scene that's not important because they fall asleep anyways, and wake up thinking he's the werewolf anyways. I know it's probably intentional, like, haha, we wasted your time, but that kinda makes the movie, fuck it, this is open season 4, who gives a shit?
So I am the werewolf? I'm always the last to hear about these things.
So now Mr. Weenie thinks he's the werewolf now. And suddenly the other characters decide he's not the werewolf anymore.
Mr. Weenie couldn't be the werewolf.
But then they encounter Shaw again. So they go into this place and an uncharted set piece happens. Which, to be fair, this is actually a pretty good scene. The action is creative and intense. I really love the lighting and framing in it. They did a good job, you know? But during this scene, Boog loses Dinkelman. Which means that once the scene ends, we get the not at all generic third act breakup.
I've had enough. I'm done. I'm building that panic room by myself and hibernating forever.
Wow, what a sad scene. I bet they won't get back together. So Ashton Kutcher's on the hunt himself. We then cut to... Fuck, no. So Ashton Kutcher's still looking for the werewolf and encounters Mr. Weenie, who thinks he's a werewolf, and also Shaw and his hunters, who are disguised as werewolves. And uh-oh, Ashton Kutcher is pinned down, but thankfully Boo comes out. Man, I totally didn't predict that one. And long story short, he and the other open season characters jump scare the bad guys with Golden Freddy. We then get an epic fight scene, and you know the ending, Boog wins, I guess. Boog and Ashton Kutcher then reconcile, and the guy from the first movie calls off open season and is all like, "Oh, good job, Boog, you saved the day." And everything is all good now, I guess. We also get one more scene where the werewolf ends up being real, but Ashton Kutcher does a dance and that fixes the problem, I guess. And we get a dance party ending, everyone's favorite trope. We also get a scene where Mr. Weenie's family is safe. They were just gone the whole movie, so that plot point gets closed, I guess. Open season 2 model. And yeah, that's open season 4.
Just one more time.
Bruh. Well, yeah. Well, but here's the good news. This is a return to form. It's a much simpler movie, and I think that really works in this case. And after 2 misguided, god-awful sequels, this one is actually an improvement. The film feels more in line with the first one. The humor, while not great, is better.
There's many humor.
And the animation work is actually really good. This is a return to form to the series' roots. So it seems that a soft reboot was actually a good idea for this franchise. The problem, though, is that those roots are already pretty mediocre. While the animation is really good, it never does anything outstanding. While the humor and the more self-aware tone is better, the jokes are still pretty hit or miss. And the story is full of tropes and contrivances. It's like everything good about this movie has a big ol' asterisk beside it, basically saying for an open season movie. But at the very least, I can officially say this is one of the sequels I have ever seen. Okay, Drake, now it's your turn.
Oh, I just beat Drake up.
Wait, you did what?
Yeah, we had a whole off-screen fight scene. I wish you could have seen it.
Oh, well, there goes that plot thread. Hey, before I go, we have Dumsy merch now. That's right, we officially have Dumsy drip. We have shirts, sweaters, mugs, bucket hats, so much more. We're currently working on more products and designs, all that is coming soon. This is 100% Dumsy certified drip and will attract you some fair maidens. Link is down below, get yourself some Dumsy drip and let the streets know who you represent, and I think that's how it works.
Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, throw that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah.